Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Irene, this is Lifestyle Over 60, and today we're talking about grief and loss. Coming right up. So I decided to make this video today for you because I have recently lost somebody close to me. And at 67, I'm 67 now, and for those of you watching, if you're in your 60s, you've lost people or you're going to be losing people. Most likely you've already lost people. And at 67, for me, I still have my dad, and the person I lost was my aunt, my mother's sister. To still have them, she was 90, my dad's 94, is amazing, I know, right? But they're at the end of their lives, and my aunt passed. And so this time in life is kind of a time to deal with a lot of loss. I haven't shared this on my channel before because we're kind of just doing beauty, fashion, and fun, and I intend to keep it like that mostly. But once in a while, I want to talk about important things like grief and loss. And what I haven't shared is that in my professional life, I'm a psychotherapist, and I have a private practice. I founded Motherless Daughters of Los Angeles, which is an organization that helps young women especially, but women of any age who have lost their mom. And so it's my field of expertise, so I can speak to it with a certain amount of knowledge and experience. And one of the most important things that I can tell you about grief and grieving is that there is no right way to grieve. There is no right way to grieve. So I hope you can take that in, because there's a feeling, a belief, and ideas out there that you're supposed to do it in a certain fashion. You're supposed to go through these steps, and then you finally get to acceptance where, hey, everything is cool. And that's not real. It doesn't work like that. What happens is grief will come in waves, and it will be completely individual to yourself and to the loss. So if you've lost, like in this case, your aunt, and your siblings were also close to your aunt, they're all going to grieve differently because they had a different relationship, number one. Number two, we're different people. So there's not any right way to do it, and there's not any one loss. Like they say, all of your pregnancies are different. It's true with every loss as well, that every loss will be different, and your timeline for moving through the grief will be different as well. One of the nice things for me about the loss of my aunt, if you can call it a nice thing, is that we were good with each other, and we were clean, and we basically said goodbye, and she let me know how much she loved me, and I told her how much I loved her, and so we were good. And so my mourning process, it's just started, it's going to be easier than it would be if I had something called complicated mourning. Complicated mourning is when you had maybe a tempestuous relationship with the person that died, and you never got to work it out with them. And so then the grief is going to be different. Or if you had guilt, if you feel like you didn't do enough, or you could have done this or that, that's going to complicate your grieving process. If the person who died was a child, or they died suddenly, accidentally, that's going to make it hard too, because you didn't get a chance to prepare. They weren't, in this case, my aunt was 90. They hadn't lived a full life. It feels wrong. It feels unjust. Those feelings you got to work with as well. So that can complicate the mourning process, make it harder, and just will take longer to get through. The other really important thing that I want to tell you is that you're never going to get over it. And I hope that doesn't freak you out or depress you or anything. But as you already know from other losses, you never really get over it. You get to learn to live with it. And hopefully you'll get to a place where you can laugh again, where you can dance again, where you can feel joy again. But it will never be the same. You know, the loss of someone close to you will always make you sad when you think about them, even though you might remember the good times too, and you'll be happy, but they're gone. And so that fact will remain with you. And so the best advice I can give you as far as how to move through the grief is to just let it flow. You feel the sadness, let the tears come, be sad, allow the pain to be there, just sit in the pain, sit in the sadness, and eventually it will ease up. It will get better, and you will be able to like feel joy again and have your life again, and go on with things and honor the person who has passed and remember them and think of them lovingly, but it won't be the excruciating pain of the initial loss. The other thing that we have to deal with as we get older is losing people that we felt were always there for us. You know, our like field of people who are close to us, who are always there for us, starts thinning out. You start, as you get older, you start looking around going, ooh, you don't want to be like a lonely old lady on the street or anything. It gets scary, you know? The other aspect for us at this age of losing people is that we might lose friends as we get older. We might just grow out of relationships, or they die or move away or whatever. It just becomes difficult to maintain friendships as we get older. So if you feel lonely and you don't have a lot of friends, it's kind of normal. It's normal. So don't beat yourself up or think that, you know, oh my God, everyone else is like having so much fun and they have all these friends and they go places and I'm not. It's not true. Social media is not real. You know, even the Sex and the City girls, they're not really friends in real life. I mean, maybe 2 of them are friends, but that's it. So I'm not really quite sure what my point is in talking about grief and loss with you today, other than to tell you the important points, which is there's no right way to grieve. And if you're grieving, and most of us are, let the pain come. Don't suppress it, because if you do, it will just take longer to go through it, you know? It doesn't go away by suppressing it. It only gets better by feeling it and moving through it. And so if you've lost someone close to you, I'm really sorry for your loss. I empathize. And I like to think there's something else, you know? And so just to close this video, after my aunt passed, I went over and spoke to her caregivers, and they said that she was talking to people that weren't there. They didn't see anyone. And they said, who are you talking to? And she said, it's my mom and dad, and they want me to go with them. And her caregiver was like, no. But she saw her mom and dad, and they were going to take her to heaven. And so she didn't believe there was anything after, by the way. She wasn't spiritual. She didn't believe in any of that. And so to give you hope that there is something and that we won't be alone ultimately. Yeah, and so just feel the pain, let it flow, and it will get better over time. And that's it for this video. Take care and come see me again really soon.